guys love this country? I got told once on stage, I got yelled at. He said, well, if you don't like it here, leave. I'm a United States Navy veteran. I fought for my country, and I'm proud to stand here and fight for my country with each and every one of you. Because the principles that this country were founded on, that's what we're fighting for here today. To simply ingest something that changes my consciousness, that's a controversy? You and me, we are the face of pro-choice America. You are the person you've been looking for to change it. I can't do it alone. These folks can't do it alone. But every one of us together, ain't nothing can stop us.
Yeah!
How many people here are registered to vote?
Woo!
I used to stand up here and say if voting could change anything, it would be illegal. And I felt that way, but you know what? I was wrong. Voting can change things, especially on a local level. You can affect change more than you ever thought you could. Me and a bunch of my friends got together in a bar one night in New Paltz. The bombs had just started falling on Baghdad, and we were pissed off, and we wanted to do something. And there was a mayor election coming up in our village. So we ran my buddy Jason for mayor, and we ran my friend Julia and Rebecca for village council. And we not only won the election, we swept the election. We became the most powerful voting force in the city of New Paltz.
Yeah!
We stopped marijuana arrests. We put reed beds to deal with the city sewage. We started making the change we all wanted to see. The thing that happened after that was really kind of cool, because we weren't gay activists, but my mayor had some friends that came up to him and said, "You're the mayor, and we want to get married." And they just happened to both be women. And so me and the mayor spent 2 days reading the New York State Constitution, where we decided that it was his duty to marry them as a representative of the village of New Paltz and them being residents. And he got arrested for doing that. And we made national news. And it was all because somebody cared. Somebody changed. And we, the marijuana movement, we have a lot to learn from the gay movement. The gay movement did not have any respect, and when I started doing marijuana festivals, the word marijuana was a bad word. Like now it's respected. Now you can put an event on in repressive, used to be Scranton, PA. Sit in the park with your friends and have some fucking freedom, and nobody seems to mind. And I'd like to thank the city of Scranton for having the faith in us to be good citizens like we all are. So when it comes to marijuana, what you gotta do is you gotta imagine a crop more versatile than the soybean, the cotton plant, and the Douglas fir tree put together. One whose products are interchangeable with those from timber or petroleum. One that grows like Jack's beanstalk with minimal tending. There is such a crop, cannabis hemp, marijuana. Henry Ford introduced an automobile that ran on fuels derived from cannabis hemp marijuana. Even the fenders were made from hemp. Ford's vision was to grow an automobile from the soil. I'm sick and tired of being a conscience objector in their war on drugs. I'm sick and fucking tired of watching them drag away my brothers and sisters, one by one, for smoking a plant that God, Jah Jehovah, gave us. How long are we willing to peacefully stand by?
No more.
The first 2 drafts of the Declaration of Independence, they were written on cannabis hemp paper.
Yes.
The daughters of the American Revolution, they sewed hemp linens for the Continental Army. In regions where hemp was prominent, such as Hempstead, New York, and Hemp Hill, Texas. Towns all over the United States were named after marijuana. If you grew pot for the United States government between 1942 and 1945, you were exempt from the draft.
Wow.
That's how important marijuana was.
That's fucked up.
Well, that's what Jack Harris is saying.
Look around. I see black, I see white, I see Latino, I see brown, all brought together by a 5-pointed leaf.
Yes!
Maybe that's really what they're so scared of. Because what's going to really bring us together? All they're trying to do is separate us. All they're trying to do is divide us. They tell us we live in the hood. I live in a neighborhood. I know my neighbor. We need to put the neighbor back in the hood. We need to be neighbors. We need to be communities. We need to be the change that we all want to see. No one is going to give it to us. No one's ever given freedom to anyone. It's been demanded by the oppressed. And when you're standing here in beautiful Scranton, Pennsylvania, having some freedom, you may not feel very repressed right now. But the next speaker I'm going to introduce, I tried to come up here many years ago. I believe it was 1999. I got invited to come perform and speak at a hemp festival in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I drove my 31-foot school bus from Long Island with my whole crew. We're like ready to fucking come and represent legalization in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And when we get there, well, they didn't quite roll out the red carpet like they did for us here. And there were police, and there were DEA. It was like the repression state. Hey, I got to admit something, I'm a New Yorker here. I used to call you guys Pennsyltucky. I'm sorry, because you guys know what the fuck freedom is too. I stand corrected. This is our country, this is your state, and we're going to make it great again, just like this country was supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Rob Robinson. I put on the New York Harvest Festival, October 7th through 9 this year. This year will be my 19th. Little bit of freedom in upstate New York with a few thousand really cool people. If you've ever been, please come back. If you've never been, I'll bet one of your friends have and they'll tell you about it. Please come support us. We're fighting the good fight in New York, just like these folks are fighting for us in Pennsylvania. Please give a round of applause to the people putting this event on right now. You can do better than that. Thank you guys, my name's Rob. The next speaker I'm going to bring up, he was the guy that put that event on that got shut down here in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He had the foresight in 1999 to start the fight. And here we are today, continuing the fight. Please give a warm Hempfest welcome to Tim Phelan.
Thank you very much, Rob. And thank everybody for coming and having so much fun that I wasn't allowed to experience back in 1999. 1999, I had a hemp festival started a year in planning at CC's in Music. They hired an electrical inspector, a health inspector. They had the mayor, the chief of police, and the fire department there. And they said this wasn't going to happen. And I'm like, well, why? He's like, well, he said, because that outlet cover's off the wall. And I said, dude, I've been coming here for 10 years, and that same outlet cover's off the wall. What's up, you know? So they shut it down. They had black Chinook helicopters overhead, outside, raising and lowering with glass bottom doors, raising and lowering, kicking up sand and gravel so the crowd would disperse. They set up saturation checkpoint all day and all night in front of the place. That's probably when Rob got there. So undaunted and undeterred, I started planning for another one. Someone asked me, he said, well, you just have the Lions ball field in Newton Ransom. Yeah. So I went up to the Lions ball field, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a crop, they're all farmers up there. I figured, well, that's cool, you know, it's not city folk.
Yeah, if you got a car.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I gave them a deposit, told them what hemp was. They didn't know what hemp was at all, and they're all farmers, so I guess the media's been working. So a month before, I called them up and said, you know, is everything copacetic? And they said, oh no, the whole town is up in arms. We're having a special meeting tomorrow night. You better be there. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem, I'll be there. So I bought a nice hemp display, shoelaces, shingles, da-da-da-da-da, paper. They didn't look at any of it. I gave them each a little pamphlet, all the information they could possibly desire. They didn't look at any of it. The guy across the table from me, there's probably maybe 15 people there. The guy across the table's like, I think we ought to listen to what Mr. Phelan has to say. And the guy behind me, he's like, don't go there, don't go there. I'll get my gun, I'll shoot you in the back.
What?
Whoa. And his wife was sitting next to me, and she was looking over her bifocals telling me, and there's going to be lots of alternative lifestyles there. I'm like, lady, you're an alternative lifestyle, but I kept my cool.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. They gave me my my money back. So I figured that our civil rights, all of our civil rights, were violated for both of those festivals. So I organized an American Civil Liberties Union chapter up here, northeastern PA, and I was president of it for 7 years. So there's other people running it now, having a ball, and I just wanted to let you guys know what happened, and we've come a long way, man. We've come a long way. Our federal government own statistics state that we could plant 4 or 5 states down south with hemp. We would be free of foreign oil, and we wouldn't even need nuclear because we could burn the biomass. That's how bad it is, folks. Get on the horn, write your senators, let's get this thing rolling. Remember, hemp makes 50,000 different products. So there's not even 50,000 people here, so everyone here could start a company. Just remember that. Use your ingenuity. There's a lot to be done. Peace.